early on when I was flying for a different airline, just getting started. I was in class and sitting towards the back of the room like I always do, trying to stay out of trouble. And I started noticing I was, squinting at the board a lot, and more than, and it's like, this is strange. I mean, I'm squinting and moved up a little bit and still found myself doing that a lot. And and I hadn't been to the eye doctor in a long time. I mean, I've always had perfect vision. No reason to go to the eye doctor. So I went in and they did an eye exam. He's like, you need to have glasses. I didn't like them right away. I've never worn glasses, but I would wear them in class and it would work out perfect. I could see everything just fine. And then I transitioned into an airplane that's all TV tubes. I was used to flying the old, we call them steam gauges, but into an airplane that had all the TV tubes in it. And suddenly I found myself, especially at night, it's like, looking at these things and things bouncing around, and I started considering it. But as a pilot, I always, without doing any research on it, just always figured, well, it's the FAA is first off going to be your first hurdle that's probably not going to allow it. But I had no idea. I just always assumed they would be the big block. And then from that it was, what if they screw it up? Then it's a concern of, well, if they approve it and then I go in and have it done and something goes wrong, or so talked to my wife a little bit about it, and she was the same way. She's like, no, it's just way too risky. But then I kind of did some research on my own and called the FAA, and they're like, yeah, we don't, it's no big deal. Just at your next scheduled appointment, your next scheduled medical, there's a form you fill out and let us know it's done, but that's all. Surgery day was interesting in that, or maybe the night before, I was really not that concerned about things for a week or two prior. But I got real anxious about it probably 2 days before or so. Just that whole, what happens? What if something goes wrong? What if this? And so then I started, now going online a little bit and researching it, and had talked to Dr. Lipstock about it. The worst case scenario, he says, something does go a little bit wrong, or it doesn't, you're not happy with it. We just come in and redo it or tweak it. And he said he's only had to do that like one time. And he thinks that was kind of caused by the patient anyway, had rubbed their eyes like they weren't supposed to or something, but he said so he was very reassuring in that respect, which helped. But it's such a quick procedure. By the time you get in and they start kind of filling out the paperwork and talking about things, next thing you know, I mean, they're prepping you, you're laid back on the bed, and it seems like 5 minutes later, you're taken care of, you're done. There was no pain, there was no uncomfortableness. I mean, these lights are probably more uncomfortable than what you're feeling laying there. I mean, you're just laying there and they take care of it, a few clicks, and that's it. The next day I came in here and did the eye exam early in the morning. He's like, yeah, you have 20/15 vision, enjoy your sight. And that was it. 2 days later I was back in the cockpit flying. And never looked back. So I'm sure you get that. I mean, everybody has much of that same feeling, but it was just astounding what you can get vision-wise so quick.